Hola mis estudiantes. Today we are going to be learning about the imperfect subjunctive and the conditional clauses in Espanol.
Today we shall be learning imperfect subjunctive. First, you conjugate the verb in third person plural preterite. So if you're using the verb molestar, you conjugate it to molestaron. Second, you remove the ron off of the verb. So from molestaron, you get molesta. Third, you add the appropriate ending, which is either ra, ras, ra, ramos, ran. So for to molesta, you'd have molesta and then molestaras. Here are some examples. Using decir, conjugate it to dijeron. Then from dijeron, you take off the ron, so you have dije. And then from dije, you add the ra, so you have dijera. Using ir, you conjugate ir in the third person plural preterite, you have fueron. You take off the ron, you have fue. And you add the ra, and you have fuera. And conducir. You start with conducir, you conjugate in third person plural preterite, you get condujeron. Take off the ra, and you have conduje. And you add the ra, you have condujera. Los reglas. If it is in nosotros form, then there ends up being an accent. So if you're using molestaramos, you have to have an accent on the third vowel from the right. So the A will have the accent on it. There are also no irregulars in imperfect subjunctive after you conjugate them for third person plural preterite. The preterite aspect has the irregular verbs taken into account, but after you do that, they all follow the same rules.
Today we are going to be learning how to use the conditional clauses. The conditional clauses have two types. These are the indicative clauses and the subjunctive clauses. Indicative clauses speak of certainty, and subjunctive clauses speak of hypothetical situations. Let's start with the indicative. To form the indicative conditional clause, start your sentence with si, then use the indicativo, and then the indicativo again. Let's try some examples using indicative clauses.
Uno.
Se me salta el edificio, rompo mis piernas.
Dos.
Si voy a la cama temprano, estaré cansado en la mañana.
Tres.
Si tú laves el coche, no hices un buen trabajo. Now that we've mastered the indicative, let's move on to the imperfect subjunctive. When forming an imperfect subjunctive conditional clause, once again you start with si, then add the imperfect del subjuntivo, finally end it with the conditional. Let's do some examples using the imperfect subjunctive.
Uno.
Si tuviera el coche, iría al supermercado.
Dos.
Si estuviera en México, estaría muerto.
Tres.
Si pudiera nadar, sería un salvavidas. Finally, we are going to learn about the pluperfect. To form the pluperfect conditional clause, or the pluscuamperfecto, start with si, then use the pluscuamperfecto del subjuntivo, followed by condicional perfecto. To finish off today's lesson, let's do some examples with pluperfect.
Uno.
Si hubiera estudiado más, habría recibido una A.
Dos.
Si hubiéramos estado en Canadá, habríamos comido tocino. Now you have learned the imperfect subjunctive and the conditional clauses in Espanol. Adios, mis amigos.